Welcome to round 2 of the California 4-H State Field Discussion Meet. I am Megan McElroy from Tulare County, and I will be serving as today's room chair, moderator, and timekeeper. At this time, I would like to ask that out of your respect for our competitors that you turn all cell phones will be turned off. You guys want to know if they're not off already? The topic for this round is, how can 4-Hers develop the knowledge and skills necessary to address challenges relevant to the study of the environment? Can we close that door, please? If someone could distract, there to be a distraction. Thank you. The judges and contestants have been briefed as what the rules of the contest. Contestants, please come and take your places at the front of the table. Today's general discussion should be directed at each other rather than the audience. In my role as moderator, I will not attempt to control or direct this discussion. Remember, the discussion is meant to stimulate a committee meeting, not a panel discussion with a point or counterpoint and an active moderator. As such, I will not intervene unless or until disparaging or inappropriate remarks are made. With that in mind, the burden is on the contestants to moderate themselves and conduct themselves in a cooperative and in a good manner. The contestants for this round are Gabrielle German, Leonie Hung, Leonie Hung, Liliana Brown, and Ethan Kurtz. We will begin this discussion with a 30-second opening statement from each contestant. Following the statements, will be 20 minutes of open discussion, followed by 1 minute of quiet time for the contestants to prepare for their 1-minute closing statements. Official time will be kept by the timekeeper. Contestants, you may now, in voluntary order, make your 30-second opening statements. Please stand and direct your opening statements towards the audience.
In the past 50 years, humans have consumed more resources than all other history ever recorded. Environmental study is important today to a healthy world, and understanding the dilemma is the first step in creating a solution. For 4-H, we can focus at least one aspect of each project to the environmental study to spread awareness. I look forward to these discussions and the solutions that we may develop. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Well, we all made it to round 2. I'm here to hear all of your guys' solutions to this question that we have. I think a huge thing that we could also use is STEAM, which is what all of our school classes are based off of now. And I can't wait to have some solutions with you guys. Thank you.
27% of 3 to 12-year-olds spend 27% of their time watching television and only 1% of their time outside. This is a problem, and this is where 4-H can really step in. 4-H can be a great way to get people outside and then educate them about the outdoors and about the harms to the environment that are being caused right now. Some ways that 4-H can do that is through the agriculture projects, which they're already doing right now, and the implementation of some ecosystem projects. I look forward to discussing this further. Thank you very much.
The environment. It's such a broad topic, and I'm sure many things come to mind when we hear the word. But today, I hope to narrow down the environment into how we as individuals can make an impact on it, a positive impact as 4-Hers. I look forward to discussing today with my fellow competitors the implications we have as individuals on our environment.
You have heard the opening statements. The contestants may now proceed with the discussion.
So I think 3 major words in the question I think we need to define today. They're a little ambiguous, so figure out what they mean to us. So they're knowledge, skills, and then how we can use these for challenges. And so I think first, if we could talk about the challenges we think that we're facing as 4-Hers, talking about the environment and learning about the environment. I personally think a challenge is being an advocate. The other day, someone asked my friend at school, how does agriculture affect the environment? They had a very negative mindset about it. And so I think as 4-Hers, it's our job to be an advocate. Is there any other challenges you guys can see with the environment?
Well, I definitely see the challenge as 4-Hers. I think that 4-H is, a well-kept secret, so to say. And I think that as 4-Hers, it's challenging to get it out, the word out. So I think that's the foremost challenge that comes to mind. But
I think a challenge is just like, is part of like, is ties back to like the knowledge and skills itself. Like, how do I get this knowledge? It's not really taught in school as much as it is taught in 4-H. But like, what 4-H projects do I do to get this knowledge, and how can I use this knowledge to help me in my 4-H life, and then also help me outside of my 4-H life? And as you were saying, yeah, advocacy. How can I spread this to other people? How can I teach other people? There are challenges facing our environment today, and we can solve these together.
To base off what you guys are saying, I think a lot has to do with it with its background. Some parents, like, they didn't go to college. Like for mine, they didn't go to college. And going to 4-H has taught me a lot, not only about my environment, but what I can do being the future generation. I think that we all need to, a huge thing that we need to do is the STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. I think, you know, STEM by itself, that's a good way for us to learn what our weather is doing, what our environment is doing. But the art, which is in STEAM, is something huge, how we're going to express it in our generation, how each of us are going to express what the environment is for us. And I think that's something that, as teenagers and as future members, that we need to express ourselves.
I agree, and having taken advanced placement environmental science class this past year, I know that some knowledge and skills we have to have when dealing with the environment is really the ability to see trade-offs. And so with environmental science, everything there's a pro and everything there's a con. And so I think as 4-Hers we're really taught about decision making, whether it's do I buy a swine for my project and how much is that going to cost? There's trade-offs for both. And so I think as 4-Hers we really learn these trade-offs. And I'd really like to, now that we've assessed the challenges that we're facing in the environment as 4-Hers, I'd like to work toward some implementation, how we can fix these challenges. Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, so I introduced like the thought of agricultural projects and ecosystem projects. So we already have agricultural projects, like we have animals, but maybe we can, because we have a lot of animals, but we always only have that like one gardening project. So maybe we can find a way to create a project that talks about mass agriculture, like tree farms or massive fields. Like maybe we can find a way to incorporate that and explain that a little bit more in a project. And ecosystem projects. What I mean by this is not necessarily, oh, we just study the trees, but maybe something like a hiking project. So you're having fun, you're hiking, but you're also learning as you're moving through the environment. Or like a fishing project. Though it might sound like you're just taking fish out of the ecosystem, you're like learning about the ecosystem, you're learning about the environment, and you're learning what may or may not increase your yield of catching a fish. So like global warming may cause fish things to go down. Like these are like ways that you can learn practically while being in a project.
I definitely agree, and I see your point, but I don't think that we need to ignore the other projects that don't really fit the normal ecosystem kind of stereotype. I think that we can implement it in, like, say I'm in arts and crafts, and we learned the science aspect of, you know, what sticks on glue and what doesn't. So I think we can implement the ecosystem and just little things that help the environment to increase knowledge.
To expand on your idea, because I agree with you, my club is based, for an experience, my club is based on a gardening project. We don't have animals. So through our gardening project, we have different teams, and different teams take on different things, such as, you know, the older kids we take on, and how can we save our water? What are ways that we can water our plants and save the water? And then there's the younger team where they manage the agriculture and our foods and how to grow the foods. I think that to expand on your idea that I think we should get more into the environment and use a lot of our resources, and that's not what we do. A lot of people don't use resources today, and I think that's where we need to go back.
That's a great idea. I think we can all agree from where our discussion is heading that we can incorporate the environment into every project. I really liked how you said that. How in arts and crafts you can still learn about the environment. And I had never heard of ecosystem project, Ethan, so I'm really glad you brought that up. Because what I talk about a lot with my sister is not so much that we need to make a new program or a new way of doing something, but instead just use what we already have. So I think if we could find a way, and maybe you have some ideas about this, to implement a way to encourage environmental thought in every project. Do you have any ideas about that, Leilani?
Some ideas that I think we should have is we should sit down, we should write what can we do to help our environment. what can we do, because we're a future generation. We have to step up our game. We have to find out. So global warming is happening, and right now in California we are in a drought. So I think we should try reaching out to people. This is what you can do to save the water. This is what your neighbor can do to save the water. And if we just keep on spreading the word, sooner or later people are going to listen. People are going to hear what we have to say, and I think that's how we could expand.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Advocacy is a big thing, and that's something that I believe we 4-Hers can really do. Because we have a lot of these like speech programs or like presentation programs or even this, but we're always just talking to other 4-Hers. We're never really like talking to the public. Like I realize this, like whenever I give a presentation to 4-H, it's always to other 4-Hers and their parents. I want to be able to go out and maybe go to a library, go somewhere public, go to a farmer's market and speak to people that I'm strangers with, people that will like see me in a new way, like will understand it differently instead of just being like, oh, let's be supportive, he's in 4-H. Like a real presentation where I can be an advocate and they can ask me questions in like a more public environment.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that there's a step in the right direction to implementing in the projects, but also we need to go outside of 4-H and go to the public. So I think that we could go to like libraries, you said, and we could pair up with different organizations to do that. I think we talked about this a little bit in the last question, but definitely getting the word out that we are doing this and we are doing it for 4-H.
To expound on your idea, my club and I, since we do gardening, we have some certain produce and we go to our local farmers market. And so we have a sign that says Macy 4-H, and it has the clover and then it says what we're selling. And people came up to us and they're like, what is 4-H? What are you guys doing? And so we gave them a background of what it is. And they're like, you know what, like I would really like a brochure because I would want my child to do that. I would want my child to grow vegetables. And I think it's not only in our 4-H life, I think we should also take this to our home life. Like I know that ever since that I've been in 4-H, I've also tried making my own vegetable garden in my house. And I think if we take this to our home life and share with our younger brothers and sisters, that's something huge as our generation can do by sharing each and every thought we have about how to save our environment.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
That's like a perfect example of like how 4-H like can easily like be spread throughout the population. How we can easily advocate. Like we just have to step out there, make 4-H not a secret, and just let people know about the environment and the things that we do. Like us 4-Hers are not just about animals. We also like care about the environment. We talk about leadership. Like it's just that was like a perfect example, and how you brought it back to your home life. Like that was great. What did you have to say?
I agree. I was just going to say, I agree, like you said, 4-H is one of the best kept secrets, and that's what I talked about in the last round. And I think, I feel how you feel, Ethan, that we're just talking to ourselves. We're preaching to the choir. We all know how awesome 4-H is. So I think we really need to go out and advocate, like we've been talking about. And I think a great way to do this is on an individual level. You know someone who knows someone who knows someone. So if you tell 10 people about how 4-H is helping the environment and what they can do individually to help the environment, because a lot of people think, oh, there's nothing I can do as an individual. But there is. If you tell them, then they'll tell 10 more people, who'll tell 10 more people, and it'll just be exponential growth. So I think just talking individually, we can make it maybe make it part of our project where we go out once a month, like you said, to a library, to a farmer's market, and talk to some people. I think talking is a great way.
On another note, to expand our idea, I think we should try reaching certain cultures, because certain cultures have different ways of saving waters, of producing foods, and of like what their thoughts. And we could, as a 4-H, as you said, individually, if we talk to people and those people talk to people, eventually we will get heard. So I think a huge thing that we can do is, maybe since my background is, Chinese, I could talk to my grandparents and see what they did, and then see what my great-grandparents did to, save water. I think each and every one of us has a different culture, and we could go to our roots and to find out what we could do as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can go.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely agree that going smaller to bigger is a great step in the right direction. I definitely see your point that people are going to go to other people that they know. I think that's a great idea. I also think that, if we advocated to larger groups as like a 4-H club or as a 4-H county, that they would hear us more. So like pairing with environmental groups or say the LA County Fair or some other bigger organizations just to get the word out more loudly, I guess, would be a step in the right direction.
Strongly agree with you.
Yeah, 4-H. 4-H is already a big organization, and if we can team up with an even bigger organization like an environmentalist group, that's so many more people put together our combined forces. We can reach so many more people. As you were saying earlier, Gabriella, if everyone just tells one person, it spreads like wildfire. News does not stay secret; it just spreads. And if we can educate people how they can save the environment, how 4-H is saving the environment, we're doing two good things. We're helping save the environment, and we're also increasing knowledge about 4-H. So we can kill one bird with two stones, or whatever that saying is.
Kill two birds with one stone.
That's what it is.
I think we could also, since going back to the thing that, California, we are in a drought, and we're in the capital of California right now. I think a huge thing is going to our local district. What can we do in our home? Since I'm from LA, we have I have a water district near me. So I think what we can do is we can, go talk to they have more, resources what we can use. They have more techniques. If we reach out ourselves, saying what can we do? And we get those techniques, we bring it back to our club, and like you said, go to a larger club and say what we could do, go to people and tell them what we can do. If we just keep on processing, like we're all saying now, eventually I think that people will get our message.
I agree. I think this conversation is heading in such a great direction. We're talking about implementation. And implementation is really what discussion and what this question is all about. Really focused on, we've talked for a long time, 4-H has, so we're really focused on how can we make tangible solutions about the environment. And I think, like you said, talking to people who are knowledgeable. 4-H is under the University of California Agriculture and Natural Resources umbrella. And so we could use people on the natural resources side, people who are experts about these things in our counties, and through the extension education in order to really become knowledgeable about these certain tasks and certain things that we need to do. So I think asking for help is a great thing. When you ask for help, what can we do? How can we help? And how can we implement it?
Yeah, and I think just by doing that, we can set an example to others as well. So just by doing the small things and not even telling anyone, just saying or just showing people how to do it and showing people, the 4-H way of leadership that, we could personally talk to someone rather than just, shouting, you need to be more environmentally aware, but rather going on more of a personal level with people.
On another idea, something else we can do to, help is go to the beaches. How there's a lot of trash in our water. I think a huge thing is, we could go to the beach, help clean up, and also wear 4-H gear. And people are like, I went myself, and people were like, oh, so what is, 4-H? And you expand, and you also tell them oh yes, my club went. So we told them what we were and how we're trying to help the environment little by little. And they're and they asked us, so do you have any techniques on what we can do? So we gave them some techniques that we use in our garden. And they said that it helped them. They emailed my leader and said that it helped them, and they shared it on, and those people keep on sharing it on. So I think that's a great example. If we keep on going to the direction that we're going now, that people are going to say something.
Yeah, community service is a great way because people will see you actively working, actively trying to help, and when they see that they feel encouraged to help. And they also wonder, why are they helping? What is the reason that they're helping? And then when you let them know, I'm from 4-H, I'm trying to save my environment, that really helps spread the word. And going back to your idea, Gabriella, about UC help, these are resources available to us. We should take it. It's right for the picking. Help us, UC, have the UC system help us, have our resources, help us become better. And then also use the UC resources to help us, advertise 4-H and advocate for environmental betterment.
I agree. We've talked a lot about how we can help the environment individually, and I think we need to focus back to the main idea of the question: how can we get the knowledge and skills in order to help these challenges? So I think, like we talked about, the UC A&R is a great way to get the knowledge and skills. Do you have any other ideas of how we can get this knowledge in order to help the environment?
To go back to how you said you did some advanced classes or some, I think that's what we should do. I think our club should choose, not seniors, but people that think they're going to be great leaders. Go take a class and this is what you could do, and then tell our clubs, the kids, this is what we can do, and just for us to be, talking to one another, communicating. I think that's a huge thing. We're always on technology, and just to communicate with one another, go to a class, I think that's a huge thing that we could get our knowledge and gain knowledge from other people.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think we could pair with different school programs and specifically targeting, students to implement this into the future. And I think if we paired it with schools, or if we even went to like a school welcome center to just post it out and create awareness, that it would implement more decisions.
Yeah, another way that we can gain knowledge and skills is going back to the environmentalist group ideas. So by pairing with these groups, we're increasing our membership basically, and we're also they'll teach us things and we can teach them things. It'll be a trade-off. We were also talking about trade-offs before, and it's just these are resources available to us. We just have to go out there and get them now. And talking about the class idea, we can actually ask the UC system for help. Through community colleges, we can have our members take classes at community colleges, maybe even a UC college because we're with the UC A&R.
Exactly.
Could you talk a little bit more about the STEAM? I never heard of that before. I was
Okay. So STEAM is just basically STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. But STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So basically is we could find what we can do in the science part, how we can engineer it, how we could use technology, also how can we use math. Yet art is how we're going to express it. We all express our feelings in different ways, and I think that if we base most of our stuff off the STEAM, it will help us. It'll help us, not only understand what we're doing, but how we're expressing what we're doing.
I think that's a great idea. In California 4-H, I'm sure you all know, we have our mission mandates, and so we have Healthy Living, we have Thrive, and we also have SET. So SET is a little bit like your STEAM, so we have science, engineering, technology, and I think it would be a great idea if we went maybe and talked to the state office, maybe encourage them to adopt STEAM instead of SET, or in conjunction with SET, because I think, like I said, I never heard of that before, and art is really important as well, and so I think that's a great idea.
Going back to your environmental groups, can you kind of expound, do you know what groups we should try to reach out for or anything like that?
Yeah, it depends what we're going for. If we're talking about saving water, we can go towards a water advocacy group. If we're talking about the environment or forest, it depends also where our clubs are located. So if you're located by a beach, you can maybe go to an oceanic environmental conservatory or something like that. It depends where we are, and that's how we can localize but still help on a large level.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I think with working what you have is an important aspect. I feel in California, at least where I live, there's a lot of beach cleanups and stuff, but I don't hear as much from the valley and stuff, whereas there are stuff to do and things to make it more efficient and eco-friendly. So I think that's a big thing that 4-H needs to work with, especially with it having, an agricultural stereotype, with it working with different projects and looking it all to one goal.
I'm actually from the Valley, and I'm from Stanislaus County. And like I said, you might not hear so much about what we do, and we do a lot of water conservation, things like that, because agriculture is so important in our valley and throughout the state. So we talk a lot about water conservation, and I think to go back on an idea that you were talking about, and like we've been saying, community issues are really important. I think that's how we get knowledge as well, from what's happening in our community, what we can do on a personal level. I think that's what our topic has been based off, is how we can help as an individual. So I think if we look at community issues, like Ethan said, looking at different environmental groups, like Leilani said, tailoring different service projects because of where you live, I think that's really the best way to go. For the environment, it's not just a cookie cutter thing that we can all say, oh, once a week we're going to go clean the beaches, but I think rather that if we all look at our individual areas where we're from and find a way to implement solutions there as individuals.
Yeah, I believe that communicating, since you're from the valley and you're from...
It's time. Sorry about that. Time has been called. Please prepare your closing statements. I ask the audience to remain silent for 1 minute out of respect for our contestants. Please put down your pencils. Involuntary order. Please stand and deliver your 1-minute closing statements.
So, I believe we had a very good discussion today. We defined some of the terms in our topic, which were a little ambiguous. So, knowledge and skills, we talked about how we can get knowledge and skills from our community, and we can also get it from the resources available to us through the UC-ANR. And we also talked about how we can reach out to environmental advocacy groups, and how they can partner with us, and we can move forward quickly like that. We also talked about some of the challenges, so advocacy. Gabriella said we're preaching, and I agree, we're preaching to the choir. All of us know we need to make the environment better. Now we need to go out into the public and tell people our environment needs to be better. And we can do this by through showing by example through community service, which can be a local thing but still have a very large impact. Gabriella brought up the idea of spreading it on an individual level, which kind of tied into Liliana's idea of having a little thing in each and every single project. So like how we can spread this quickly through every single project. And then Leilana brought up the idea of STEAM, something I've never heard of, and I'm looking forward to bringing back to my club. Thank you very much.
In conclusion, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for not only being my peers, but for the audience as well, for giving me ideas of what I could take back to my club and what we could do to help the environment. Some of the important things that Ethan stated was going to environmental groups, and what Gabriella stated of going to partnering with school groups, programs for the schools, and Gabriella for what we did was those 3 words and how we all base it off. And I think a huge thing that we all need to do is communicate with each group of what we can do and what the valley has and what the beach has. And I really enjoyed this discussion, and thank each and every one of you guys.
We all have different skills and we all have different ways of expressing them, but we can use them all for one main goal, ecological conservation. I think that I have learned so much from Gabriella, Leilani, and Ethan. We not only need to spread awareness of 4-H, but we can do it with the main goal of spreading ecological awareness. We can start small with the project and focusing it on a more conservative level, and we can build up to a more national level of conservation. I have learned so much from this discussion, and I thank each and every one of you. I can't wait to bring this back to my community and club. Thank you.
My club, my community, my country, and my world. This familiar line from our 4-H pledge highlights our gaining environmental knowledge, starting from the community level. We discussed that we can learn through the UC-ANR system, from school programs for education, and through partnerships by spreading learning and also knowledge of 4-H. We can all agree that as individuals, we can make an impact starting in our 4-H clubs. Thank you for the discussion today, and I look forward to discussing in the future.
Let's show these contestants our appreciation for a job well done.